On today's Glory Days show, we continue with the 2015 baseball extravaganza, but the enemy has invaded as we allow two Yankee fans to join us in the studio as we talk about the state of baseball here in New York.
These two diehard Yankee fans are as passionate about their team as Mr. Bruce and I are about our team, and it's just that they've had a lot more success than we've had. But what's in the past is the past, right, fellas?
And to add fuel to the fire, we'll talk to Pete Torgerson about his side of the best rivalry in baseball, the Red Sox and the Yankees.
And as Bob Murphy would say, fasten your seatbelt. The battle for New York baseball begins on Glory Days coming up right now.
HeatRadio.com.
Hello again, everybody. Today is Saturday, April 4th, 2015, and you are watching the Glory Days show with Bruce and Disco. My name is Paul Descalfani. This is my good friend Bruce Oler, and you are joining us in the radio studios here in beautiful Mastic, Long Island.
Of course.
Kyle Melnick and Bonnie Schultz are behind the glass. Welcome to our final segment of the 2015 Glory Days Baseball Extravaganza. We've spent the entire month of March talking to correspondents from all around the country about their baseball team. But today, it's all about New York baseball.
Well, we get the Red Sox coming in there too, don't we?
Yeah, but it can still be a fight.
All right.
In the past on this program, we've made no attempts to hide our passion for the Mets and sometimes our dislike for the Yankees. But today, live in our studio are two gentlemen who are diehard Yankee fans.
Yes, they are. This Yankee fan has been a frequent contributor to this program on segments for previous baseball and football extravaganzas, but now you get to see his cherubic face live on the air. Please welcome the biggest thing in television, Steve Lanza.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Pleasure to be here.
And the other guy is not only a great baseball fan, he once gave away tickets to a meaningless Sunday afternoon Yankee game to a friend, and it turned out to be David Wells' perfect game. As he sits here in the studio, he is also the current champion of our fantasy football league. Please welcome the owner and general manager of the Renfrew Cup champions, Slice of Zeiss.
Wow.
And a man that bribes the dust, John Zeiss.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. And by the way, my kids were upset because it was Beanie Baby Day. They didn't care about David Wells at all.
That happens. That happens.
You know, it's an amazing thing, obviously, a perfect game. What have there been, 15, 18 of them during the course of Major League Baseball history?
Yeah, I think there were 15.
Right? And, you know, did you at least get the ticket stub back?
No, not at all. Not at all. But you know what? When I got to work on Monday, I gave it to an electrician, John. He brought his family. And I walked into him, and I bent over, like to kick me for giving away the tickets. He kissed it. Right on the cheeks. Okay. I said, "What are you doing? My God." So, yeah.
You know, well, you guys are two of the greatest Yankee fans that we know. You know, so we felt it would be a lot of fun to come and talk about New York baseball. I mean, it's
funny that you would invite us this year.
well, why else would we invite
the
you?
arrow's pointing down. To bring us in.
Well,
That's a good question. I mean, who's going to own the town this year? I mean, I think that's a good discussion to have.
It's a coin toss. I think.
Yep.
You know, I mean, one of the things that's been going on here is that both of these clubs are probably going to end up being near or close to 500. But like you said, for the Mets, that means the arrow is pointing up. Mm-hmm. But for the Yankees, the arrow's pointing down.
Well, an interesting thing will be who's going to be the real star of the two teams. Right now, the Mets have the lead with Harvey, but he's only won 12 games. So
You know, they're making
he's
him
coming
out
to
to
have
be-
surgery, so you don't know.
I mean, they're making him out to be the second coming of Tom
But if
Seaver.
Tanaka throws one pitch and he's gone, who's left?
That's right.
That's
right.
Well, that's the other thing. You know,
I know earlier in the week, the Post had an article about, who's going to own New York, and they had 5 things, who's better, okay? And the first one was starting pitchers, and they listed Matt Harvey and Jacob deGrom. And then for the Yankees, they said, it's Tanaka and Michael Pineda.
Sure.
I think you got to give it to the Mets there, don't you?
I would say, yeah, I do like Pineda an awful lot, but yeah, until Tanaka can come out and show me that against what Pedro was talking
Yeah.
about.
Well, that's
where-
it. I mean,
where he made
that's a
that
big question
comment.
mark. The Yankees have a lot of question marks.
Yeah, absolutely.
The second thing was shortstop, Wilmer Flores and Didi Gregorius. I got to give it to the Yankees there, man. No, Didi Gregorius. I don't think so.
I don't know. That remains me. You know what? You're going to hear the word "if" a lot,
Oh, well, of
and that's
course.
an if, right? That's a
and
big
I have
if
to
right
tell
there.
you, anytime we ever used to talk about the Mets, especially in the beginning of the year, it was always if.
Yeah.
If this guy comes back. Oh, we only paid $1 million for him because he's coming off being hit by a train.
Right.
And there's a chance he'll come back. And this guy was a batting champion 5 years ago, so if he can have a better year. If.
If I'm on the golf course and I've made 5 triple bogeys in a row, if I birdie the 18th hole, I'm going to break 100. I'm not going to do that 99 times out of 100, and I think that's where the
A
Yankees road
broken
is
clock
going.
is right twice a day, right?
Yeah. But
Number 3, first baseman, Lucas Duda, Mark Teixeira. Okay, now, he was hurt last year, who knows? And I think we're going to throw A-Rod in the mix here. I think he's been the surprise for the Yankees this spring training.
probably
don't you?
because we were expecting so little. You
Yeah.
know, I think that's the reason. But
Low expectations,
You might
for
be able
sure.
to look at 1580. You know, might be able to look at 1580 for A-Rod if he plays enough, if he stays healthy. You know, I'm pretty sure he'll keep his nose and other things clean.
Yeah,
But you
you
know,
guys going opening day, right? Are you
I'll
going
be
opening
there.
day?
Oh,
You'll be
yeah.
there.
I'll
You're
be there.
cheering A-Rod?
Oh, absolutely. I always cheered A-Rod, and I
Yeah.
don't care what anybody says about off the field or what the press does to him. When I watch that guy in the dugout or on the field, he's cheering his team on. He's playing as hard as he could. Sometimes
he's
he's in a
handed
terrible.
his phone number to the girls in the stands. He's doing all those
So would I.
Well, you know, he's
So-
got, listen, he paid his time. He did his penance. He did his sentence. He had to stay a whole year away from baseball. And he did it. He comes back and he plays. I have no problem with him playing.
He could have a good year. What's he, 39 and a half, right?
They need him to have a good
They do, that's right.
Well, one of the problems there, I think, is that surrounding him in the lineup is nothing.
Yeah.
A lot of ifs.
Not like it used to be.
You know, there was the Met-Yankee game that was on television, I guess maybe 2 weeks ago or so. It was the one, now obviously the Yankees traveled from Tampa down to
But that was
St.
when
Lucie,
they
which is
had,
a
he
good
had the
3-hour
infielder play in
ride.
center
Yeah,
field.
yeah.
He ran into the wall. Was it in the park home run? The first.
Right.
But that was a
I
great game.
But the Mets had on their lineup was basically what's going to be their
Starting lineup for the year.
And I looked at the Yankees and I said, you know what? If I take out A-Rod, Teixeira, Sabathia, Beltran, and Pineda, I don't think I can name 5 Yankees right now.
You didn't mention what's that? Chase Headley, right? Chase Headley.
Yeah, Chase Headley.
Yeah.
That's Headley.
You know, and I can't remember the last time that's ever
Headley
happened.
Lamar.
I can't remember the last time that's happened where I didn't know who was on the Yankees.
No, usually the Yankees carry a very strong bench. You know, now Garrett Jones, is that his name?
Well, they get Garrett Jones, but the Yankees were always thriving on the thumpers. You know, you had to have
Bronx Bombers,
the
man.
3-run homer. That you
Yeah.
know. Now they're trying to do it with speed. You know, Gardner and
Ellsbury.
Jacoby Ellsbury. I've never seen a Yankee team win like that.
You know, and they, and also obviously,
You may
know,
never.
And also obviously, it's. I think the Jeter thing is going to affect them more than even the Mariano thing. I think they look to Jeter more than. I mean, obviously Mariano was just always there.
On the field, captain.
Right, but he's only on the field for an inning, Mariano Rivera.
Sure.
You know what I mean? You need that everyday, day in, day out guy that you can count on, that you can look to. And how great was that?
Jeter was
that last home game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was unbelievable.
I know I'm not a Yankee fan, and I was rooting for that guy to hit the home run in the 9th inning to tie the game. Because the first thing I did when he gave up, I think it was a 3-run lead. I think it was a 3-run lead going into the 9th.
Right.
When they gave up the first run, I think it was a single, double, run scored. I went to ESPN to check the Yankee batting order just to see if he was going to get up in the next inning. And I says, you know what, he's getting up. I says, I hope the guy hits a home run. And you know,
Well, it's fairy tale. He's had a fairy tale career.
That's right. Put the cherry on the top of the career, man.
You know, I gave my tickets away for that game as well.
John, what are you doing, man?
You know why? Because
why?
the Giants were on that night.
I see.
And it was so I could watch both.
have you had most of the games you gave away? Do they turn out to be like the greatest Yankee games ever?
He was on the line for beer when Jackson hit 3 home runs.
No.
It must have been a long line.
But when I was there for that 5-for-5 day where he hit his 3,000 hit was a home run. But the most important hit of that game was the single in the ninth that won the game. So.
And I can remember you caught a ball, right? Didn't you, on national TV,
I have
right?
to tell you, that
did
was
you
on
see
ESPN.
that?
Yeah, we saw it on ESPN. You
I
catching the
don't
ball.
know if anyone would believe that, but Garco was his name on Cleveland.
Yeah.
Hits a home run, and it's coming at us, and everyone is piling up for it. I just stuck my hand out the work right in it. So
Catch of the game, right? It was
But the best,
a web gem.
The best story was, he goes to every game. I don't know how he's still married, but he goes to every game. Okay.
Except for the games he misses.
When he hands one off,
game.
when he's got an excuse. But he's at more games than half the Yankees made. And at the last game at Yankee Stadium, on the screen they do fan of the game.
It was
Oh,
you.
yeah.
The last home game at Yankee Stadium, he's the fan of the game.
That's
true.
That's
We're going to
fitting.
take a little break
That was
here,
fitting.
though, okay? We're just getting started here on the Glory Days show. Right after the break, we'll kick off with the final segment of the Glory Days 2015 Baseball Extravaganza. We'll talk to our good friend Pete Torgerson about his Boston Red Sox and the seemingly never-ending rivalry with the evil empire, the New York Yankees. Stay with us. You're watching Glory Days show with Bruce and Disco, only on the Radio TV network.
Hey, I'm Raul Panther.
And I'm Commander B. Hawkins.
And I'm Mark Well. We're some of the proto men. If we see you without this bracelet, you get punched in the But if you have this bracelet from InRadio.com, you can win $100.
Put one of these on, or else.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered. The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, InRavio can get your message out there, and we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is InRavio.com.
Transmission of lice occurs from being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Like catching a cold or a flu.
You have guaranteed peace of mind in every bottle of Got Lice because all of our products are completely natural,
And organic.
but strong enough to cover all your lice removal needs while being safe and effective. Our professional technicians are specially trained with our exclusive proven technique to successfully comb out head lice. We come right to your home at your convenience.
Whenever you want us.
We bring everything needed to perform a successful and complete comb out while eliminating your head lice. And we leave you with our exclusive complimentary products to use for the next 10 days following our treatment.
For free.
Our technicians also check all family members who have been exposed to lice. Please visit us on our website today at gotlice.co or feel free to call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 646-257-0121.
Welcome back to the Glory Days Show with Bruce and Disco here on the Radio TV Network. Live in our studio today with us are Yankee fans Steve Lanzer and John Zeiss. And I believe on our phone is one of our favorite people.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have him on the phone?
We do.
A man who loves everything we in New York hate. The Patriots, the Bruins, the Celtics, and of course the New York Yankees. I mean the Boston Red Sox. Actually, we Met fans love the Boston Red Sox.
Yes, we do.
The Boston-New York rivalry in baseball is unparalleled in any sport. And what better way to kick off the 2015 baseball season than with a discussion between both Yankee and Met fans? So please welcome to the program, Pete Torgerson. Pete, how are you?
Pete.
Hello?
Uh-oh.
Come on in, Pete.
What happened to Pete? Are you there? Pete, you there?
Gentlemen,
Hey, Pete.
Pete, you're on the program today with a couple of Yankee fans, Steve and John. How are you today?
very well. My condolences to the Yankee fans.
So we're here to talk about the Red Sox, and obviously the Red Sox and the Yankee rivalry. This weekend, I guess, is it the first weekend of the season, right? Or is it the following weekend? It's the first weekend,
First
right?
weekend.
Yeah, the first weekends, the Red Sox will be coming into Yankee Stadium. Where are you this year on the Red Sox, Pete?
Disappointed.
Really?
Yeah, it's good. They're going to be lucky if they get 85 wins, 86 wins this year. They're
Well, the last 4
I-
years, they've been up, they've been down. 2013, they won. 2011, they were pretty good.
right. Last to first to last. I just
Yeah.
don't. It's too much of a roller coaster. I don't think they got this new thing, this pitching by committee thing. Remember about 10 years ago they tried that with the bullpen. That
Yeah.
didn't work. But so now they don't have an ace. They got Buchholz is supposed to be the ace. He looks like a crackhead. He weighs about 47 pounds. He's got bad skin. I don't know what that guy's deal
Great,
is.
I drafted him on my fantasy.
Did you really?
They bring Justin Masterson back.
Yep.
Stephen Wright, I love his comedy, but I don't know about the knuckleball. So,
He's a knucklehead.
yeah. I don't know why you park in why do you drive in a parkway and park in a driveway, right? So,
They made some acquisitions. They made Hanley Ramirez they picked up. They got the Kung Fu Panda, Pablo Sandoval.
right.
Rusney
And
Castillo
Hanley's
Montana.
your left fielder. Did you see him the other day? He can't even catch a pop fly for crying out loud.
Will he stay
And then,
healthy? I
and
mean, that's
then-
the other question with him, man. He hasn't finished a couple of seasons now, hasn't he?
Right. And then you got the Panda. He wouldn't be the fittest guy in your Thursday night softball team.
That's right. That's right.
And then their catcher Vasquez has to get Tommy John surgery, so that they don't have a catcher now.
I never heard of a catcher getting Tommy John surgery.
It happens.
What happened last year to
Yeah.
the Baltimore catcher, Wieters?
Oh, really?
Yeah, they call it
Good thing
Johnny
I pay
Bench
attention.
surgery when a catcher gets it.
So I think I read recently they said that, I guess the new generation or the current generation, they're going to think that Tommy John was really a surgeon. Not a baseball player. Because everybody gets Tommy John surgery, is what happens,
Hey, Pete, can
Yeah,
I
and
ask you a
then,
question?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Jackie Bradley Jr. was the starting center fielder last year. They sent him down to Pawtucket the other day. Castillo, they signed him to a $72 million deal. They sent him down to Pawtucket. So, I don't know.
that guy Betts looks pretty good. though.
Mookie Betts, the right fielder, yeah. I mean, that's the question is, they have some young talent. Are they going to contribute this year,
Well, or the question they have, and the catcher they're going to keep, I guess, is Swilhart, right? He's So, what I was going to ask you is, do you think they're going to deal one of these young guys and bring in Hamels or another pitcher because they certainly need somebody on the staff?
They're going to have to make a move. They got to use one of these guys as a chip. But what are they going to do? Castillo has this huge contract. They can't get rid of him. Do they trade a Daniel Nava or, I don't know, Shane Victorino, somebody like that? Do they make a move?
Yeah, I'm thinking Victorino's probably going to go, but who wants him?
That's a good question.
Yeah, and then they got problems in the bullpen. Kuchihara, he's hurt already. What, he hurt his hamstring or something the other
Yeah,
day?
Majika's going to close for now.
Well,
So-
Pete, if you're projecting 85 or 86 wins, what is it going to take to win in the AL East? All you got to do is get there and get hot at the end. All these teams seem to be mediocre.
Yeah, they're right in the same.
You know,
I think the Orioles are the team to beat. I think the East is going to be weak this year. And maybe 86 wins, you slide it up to 90, and you're in the playoffs. Could that happen? I don't know. I think the Yankees and the Red Sox are pretty much in the same boat.
well,
So who's the strongest team then? You think Baltimore and Tampa,
I think
maybe?
Baltimore.
What about Tampa?
Yeah.
How about Toronto?
I don't like.
Yeah, every year Toronto. Come on.
that's true. Every year on paper they look great.
That's
But
why I said it.
I'm not too high on Baltimore this year because they lost that big thumper, about 50 home runs, right?
Yeah.
Now they're
Yeah.
going to rely on Chris Davis to come back, and they have a lot of
Yeah,
trouble
with
with him.
with his 200.
I really think that we got to bring in Sammy Stone to really sort this out for us. Is what I think,
The Stone?
Yeah.
I like Buck Showalter though.
Yeah, I do too.
I
Well,
respect
that's the
him.
main reason
Yeah.
because I think Baltimore. You're right. They lost some pop there, and what am I going to say now?
Well, let's ask Sammy Stone what he thinks, because he is a
Should we
resident
ask him?
expert.
Do we want to ask him if they're just going to end up 500, or we ask him if they're going to make the playoffs?
Make the playoffs.
All right. Sammy Stone.
That's right.
Tell me the future.
Hey, speak English.
Sammy Stone.
You got him.
Tell me the future.
Am I missing something here?
We're going to shut you down, man. Sammy Stone.
Good guess.
Tell me the future.
What, are you nuts?
All right. One more chance.
Watch it.
Sammy Stone.
Hold on.
Sammy Stone.
Yo.
Tell me the future.
Hey, speak English.
All right. He's not into it.
Obviously, he feels the same way we do.
He forgot what he was going to
can't
say,
even
too.
tell.
Well, I remember now because we started talking about Toronto.
Yeah.
And, they lost a main pitcher. They lost Marcus Stroman.
Yeah.
Right. So their pitching staff is a little
He's a Long
questionable
Island
too,
boy,
and they got a
Marcus.
very questionable closer with Cecil. So
Yep.
I think everybody's kind of even.
Oh, he's still talking. Hey, Sammy Stone.
Thank you.
Sammy Stone.
That's right.
Tell me the future.
What, are you nuts?
Am I speaking English here?
Hey, I came out all the way out here for this. You said we were going to get lunch or something.
I made no promise.
So, Pete, you're not too optimistic about the Red Sox here, though, huh? You think?
Yeah, I'd be surprised if they make any noise this year. To be
Hey,
honest.
Pete, can you imagine that while we're all here right now, the only people that are optimistic about their team are the Met fans?
Here we go. Let's go Mets. That's all I can say.
You know something will happen there for crying out loud.
Oh, that's right.
Listen, as long as you got Collins at the helm,
Oh, my
that
God.
the puppet master.
Hey, listen, I'm waiting. As a Met fan, I'm waiting for Wally Ball.
Well, hockey, the playoffs will start pretty soon.
Next week.
So, Pete, we're going to ask you to come back on to us to talk about hockey, because you are our hockey maven.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We had a good night at the Islander Kings game the other night.
I know. Paul was telling me or Disco was telling me he was telling me you were giving him referee 101 lessons there. You know. And,
there you go.
And he was telling me, he said, you know, one of the refs got hit, or maybe it was a linesman, got hit with a puck right away. He said that guy is going to be done for the night, and he got hit about 3 or 4 times. Right?
And got put into the bench.
It happens. He had the magnet on him.
There you go.
It just happens.
What derailed the Bruins this year? What was the...
Well, Chara was out for a while.
Yeah. Right.
You know.
Yeah, I had the Bruins done 2 weeks ago. They
You
might hang
did.
on.
You did. Looks like they're going to make the playoffs, though. You know, and anything can happen. You got to be in it to win it. You know.
Yeah.
Okay.
All righty, man. We're gonna.
Hey, one quick one. You guys are talking about games that you've been at.
Yep.
One of the most exciting baseball games I was at was it had to be the Sunday night of Labor Day, probably 10, 12 years ago, when Mussina had the no-hitter going.
Oh!
I was actually rooting for him to throw the no-hitter because it was 2 outs and crazy Carl Everett comes up.
Hey, Pete, I'm with you. I was in Canada on a fishing trip listening to it on radio, and he had 2 strikes on that guy, and then he got a single up the middle.
He gave those tickets away.
I was there with my buddy, and his son was like 12 years old, and we're rooting for the no-hitter, and his son is, this kid is a Boston Red Sox. He was born one fan, and he's like, come on, get a hit, Carl, get a hit. And Everett, boom.
Yeah, you got to always root for the no.
That was in Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah, yep.
All righty, Pete.
We're going to take a short 2-minute break here, and when we get back, we'll talk about baseball in New York with our guests Steve Lanza and John Zeiss. Thanks
All right,
for joining
guys.
us,
Nice
Pete. You're
talking
watching the
with you.
Glory Days show with Bruce and Disco, only on the Radio TV network. Coming right back.
Thanks, Petey.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered. The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, InRavio can get your message out there, and we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is InRavio.com.
Hey, this is Chris Les Jake, and if InRavio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered.
Hey, I'm Raul Panther.
And I'm Commander B. Hawkins.
And I'm Russ Weller. We're some of the proto men. If we see you without this bracelet, you're punching the But if you have this bracelet from InRadio.com, you can win $100.
Put one of these on, or else.
Welcome back to the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco here on the InRadio TV Network. Live in our studio with us today are Yankee fans Steve Lanza and John Zeiss. Let's talk a little bit about New York baseball.
You know, it's a day that we've been looking forward to.
Yeah. Well, that's right.
As
We don't
Met
get a chance to
fans.
see. Well, I don't get a chance to see John and Steve too often. They live up in Westchester. I'm glad they took the trip down here today. And then it's also good that we can maybe gloat a little bit, although
You know what?
nothing
There's
has happened
nothing to
yet.
gloat about.
Nothing's happened yet.
You know what? The only thing is that I'm happy about. I really am just happy that we're going to actually have a baseball season.
Yeah.
For once here, from a Met fan perspective. I mean, you know, I know it's difficult. Maybe I'm drinking the Kool-Aid a little too early, but at least I feel that it's going to be a little competitive.
Well, you're
this
probably
year.
not the only one because the Mets sales is up.
Yeah.
The ticket sales, they had a very, very positive response to season tickets. So I think they almost went up 18%. That's a big jump.
You know, we're just looking forward to actually, you know, sometime after Memorial Day. Not looking forward to the beginning of the
After
football
the 4th
season.
of July, you're looking down, and your feet, you don't want to be seen, you can't wear your shirts.
You know what it is? For the first time in a long time, in New York anyway, I think we needed to have something positive to happen with the Mets. There hasn't been a lot of positive thing. Every time something good happens, something bad happens.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, when was the last time you can say that the excitement on a team is about a Met player rather, you know, maybe back when Gooden was there and Strawberry,
Sure.
maybe Piazza, if you want to stretch it, even though he was a Dodger first, that type
Yeah.
of thing. When was the last time you had the town focus?
You know,
It's been a long time.
It has been.
What do you guys think about the Met-Yankee rivalry? Each year I look forward to that. It seems like
I think it's great. I always look forward to that too. I really do.
Has the interleague play watered down the excitement? And
I don't know if it's watered down the excitement. I think what they did was I think they not killed it, but I think it became less of an event because of the number of times that they play each other during the year. It became no different than playing the Braves or the Cubs or whatever.
And as a Met fan, we always cried a little foul because we always had to play the Yankees, which was the a powerhouse team.
Of course, during the years when you guys were winning everything, we had to play you 6 times.
Yeah, exactly.
The Braves played you once every 3 years.
Sure. I don't like when in September you're playing meaningful games or could be meaningful games against National League teams.
Yeah.
That
Why
doesn't
are
make
you
any
ending
sense.
up against the Astros if you need to make up time to catch Baltimore or Boston or something like that? I think you need those games there. So.
You know, I think I remember when we went to the first series was at Yankee Stadium.
oh yes, it was.
And
Andy Pettit.
and I remember the first series at Shea Stadium.
Following year.
And that back and forth. I had never been to a game that was a baseball game where every pitch, everybody was losing their mind every pitch.
It's a lot like when the Islanders play the Rangers, isn't it? I mean,
Right. Well, the Islanders and the Rangers, though, they play each other every year.
Yeah, that's true.
It became more of a rivalry, but that rivalry never died
Mm-hmm.
because we also got to play each other in the playoffs. I mean, the year that 3 of the 4 years that the Islanders won the Stanley Cup, they had to beat the Rangers to win the Stanley Cup. And the year that the Rangers won their Stanley Cup in '94, they had to beat the Islanders.
Yeah.
So there was always that playoff thing.
Well, they're the same league, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it didn't happen. Well, it happened much more often in the NHL.
But I think the greatest thing was it 2000 when the Mets played the Yankees in the
Yeah.
World Series?
Yeah.
And that was was that an exciting time?
Clemens and Piazza.
Well, yeah. Derek Jeter, of course, the captain. We took it on the chin with him for sure.
And I still
Well,
blame
who's
the
that
entire
outfielder?
thing on
Who's the
Timo
outfielder on the
Perez.
Mets?
I was just going to
There
say
you
that.
go.
Timo
That's the guy,
Perez.
right.
Yep.
Timo Perez standing there watching the ball instead of scoring from second base. How do you not score from second base on a double?
Right.
To me, that was even
Well,
though
that's right.
Franco blew
And
the
then a
save.
few years later, and it wasn't in the World Series, but the Mets were playing the Yankees. It was a pop fly that Castillo dropped.
Right,
You know,
right.
what happened? Teixeira scored from first base
Right.
because you know what? He wasn't watching where the ball was. He knew he had to round the bases, is what he knew. You
And I
know.
always said that's the difference between the Mets and the Yankees, because the Yankees play all the way through. They understand that anything, and that's
It's all
that
about
to me is
fundamentals,
coaching.
and they always play fundamentally sound baseball.
You and I went to the Met-Yankee game, that extra inning game, where the Mets had the winning run on third, and it was a long fly ball to Paul O'Neill out in right field. The game was over. As soon as he catches the ball, the game is over. Most players, when the ball was hit over their head, would have just walked off the field because he knows even if I catch it, the game is over because the guy's going to score from third anyway. But O'Neill went out, caught the ball, made a great catch, caught the ball, threw to first to try and get the double play because it was first and third at the time. And we were all sitting in the stand goes, what happened? Is the game over? Did they not win? I mean, the run had scored before he threw it out. But that's the difference between
when
the way the Yankees play
when
ball.
you're saying the difference, you can say Yankees and you can say Mets, but really it's the players. And when you have guys like O'Neill or Posada or Jeter, those guys that get in their teammates' faces because they're not going to accept anything but excellence out of them and 100% hustle. I don't know how many Met guys you can say that about.
Well, you don't, but I mean, this year it maybe changed a little bit. You know, David Wright, he called out the pitcher. You know, basically he should have been sitting in the dugout instead of sitting there eating lunch. You know, they dumped his lunch or whatever. You know, so we'll see.
Syndergaard was in the locker room during. And even though it was an inter-squad game, they went in there and they told him what he's doing.
I was hungry.
He says, I'm having lunch.
Reflecting back on that series, Game 1 was the most important because it established the Yankees winning that game in extra innings. It was like 13, Jose Vizcaino or somebody at the... Whatever his name. No, whatever his name was.
Vizcaino?
Something like that. But I think the most exciting game was the game that the Yankees lost. El Duque pitched his heart out. He had bases loaded almost every inning and then would strike them all out. He struck out 13 guys. And you had Benny Bayani,
Right.
You know, that was the most exciting game.
Well, you know, the thing was, remember the first game at Shea Stadium after the Yankees had, the Mets almost won the second game, but the game that Jeter leads off the game, home crowd, everybody going crazy. Jeter, boom,
home run. You know,
Game 4.
Yep.
Game 4. You guys won Game 3. Yeah.
Everybody just
went
right
out of the
down.
balloon.
Everything like that, and that's
A wet noodle.
But this town is always. I know it's a football town when the Giants win, but it's always been a baseball town. You know.
Well, this is the year where the Mets can probably grab the back page a little bit more. Where the Yankees might be grabbing the back page on, you know, Ellsbury out for 2 weeks, or you don't know Beltran or A-Rod. You know, something's going to go. There's more chances for the Yankees for something to go wrong than.
That's right. They have a lot of question marks this year. Their bullpen is questionable. We'll talk about that, I guess, in a few minutes. You know, we're going to talk about the Yankees, but
you know, the thing with the Mets is that they're already talking about Terry Collins being on the hot seat. They didn't even play a game yet.
Terry Collins
They're only talking.
might be the worst manager in baseball.
you think so?
You know, I watch him.
I think he's
watch
burned
him
a few
manage-
arms out. I'm sure he gets a Christmas card from Santana.
Of course.
And the other thing is, you know, just yesterday, Curtis Granderson got hit on the knee.
Yeah.
Mets do not retaliate when something like that happens. The Yankees do. The Yankees always protect their players. They always have. It doesn't seem that the Mets have ever had that.
And that's why I say the Mets, they want to have, you know, it would be nice if your catcher or, you know, if he was a little bit older, or a veteran presence, Wright or Granderson. Those are the two guys you're looking for.
Or Kadaya now.
Or
maybe.
Kadaya now,
Yeah.
to get in somebody's face.
That's right.
And just you know, because Harvey could be the guy.
He might be.
It was Posada, by the way.
Yeah,
he was the guy.
Posada was the guy. No question. I brought him up. I know that.
We're going to continue this discussion after we take a break, okay? So we're going to take a little break right now on the Glory Day Show. We get back, we'll talk to Steve and John about the 2015 New York Yankees, what we can expect from them, and maybe Sammy Stone will not, he'll do something a little better with us next time, okay? So stay with us with the Glory Day Show. With
Sammy
Lisa
Stone.
Disco.
That's right.
Tell me the future.
I speak English.
All right, we're coming right back, okay? All right, we're going to change his
I've
batteries.
never
I
been
think.
thrown through a glass plate window before.
That's it with Sammy Stone.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit hansoncarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered.
Transmission of lice occurs from being in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Like catching a cold or a flu.
You have guaranteed peace of mind in every bottle of Got Lice because all of our products are completely natural.
And organic.
But strong enough to cover all your lice removal needs while being safe and effective. Our professional technicians are specially trained with our exclusive proven technique to successfully comb out head lice. We come right to your home at your convenience.
Whenever you want us.
We bring everything needed to perform a successful and complete comb out while eliminating your head lice. And we leave you with our exclusive complimentary products to use for the next 10 days following our treatment.
For free.
Our technicians also check all family members who have been exposed to lice. Please visit us on our website today at gotlice.co or feel free to call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 646-257-0121.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, InRavio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is InRavio.com.
Hey, this is Chris Jake, and if InRavio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit hansoncarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered.
Hey, I'm Raul Panther.
And I'm Commander B. Hawkins.
And I'm Rich Willie. We're some of the proto men. If we see you without this bracelet, you get punched in the But if you have this bracelet from InRavio.com, you can win $100.
Put one of these on, or else.
Welcome back to the Glory Days Show with Bruce Disco here on the InRavio TV network. And joining us all day today, live in the studio, are Yankee fans Steve Lanzer and John Zeiss. Let's spend some time talking about the Yankees and what we can expect now that the core four guys are gone. I mean, those guys were obviously, the Yankees were always able to build around those guys. They were always able to plug people in. Get seasons out of them that most people never thought they'd be able to get.
That's been their formula for all those
and having those
years.
guys, it's a great name, by the way, Core 4. But most organizations are lucky if they have one guy. that's with them for.
Well, you're taking the core four, and then you're leaving out Bernie Williams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There were five.
You pull O'Neill some of that.
Right.
some
Well,
of
I
that
mean,
time
those
too?
those are the add-ins. I always felt that the Yankees were very strong in doing that, but they still had some youth there that they brought up. And let's not forget the guy that's now playing in Seattle.
Yeah.
Cano.
Yeah.
I mean, they brought him through there too. So there were plenty of players for the Yankees to bring up. Now their farm system had been depleted for a few years, and they kind of were almost forced to go into that free agent market to keep the team relevant.
Right.
I think now they're going to have to start to look back a little bit, and especially if everybody's the Yankee fans are almost accepting we're not going to be that good. We got too many injuries. We got a lot of questions. We don't know if we're going to have the pitching. That's a good time to like kind of like close up camp and say, okay, let's start to concentrate on our farm system because we're going to have to do that
Yeah.
sooner or later.
Yeah.
But I think if there was any time for this to happen with the Yankees, it's now because there's no real runaway team in the East unless you count Baltimore.
Well, that's the problem. Is like you're still being teased.
Yeah.
We have a chance here. Do we want to work on our young pitching staff that we have in the minors? Do we want to bring this kid Judge up too early? Do we want to bring this kid Bird up too early? You know, there's some real nice prospects that they have, blue chip prospects that they need a little time to season, and then maybe bring them up toward the end of the season if you're not in it. But the Yankees, if it's such a weak division, and the Yankees are going to be in it, you're going to hold those guys back. You're not going to see them, and hopefully it doesn't go back and reverse.
A lot of question marks this year, though, right? I mean,
You
I
have
think
to be healthy to
Yeah.
be in the mix at the end.
Yeah.
And if you're in the mix at the end and you got a couple of hot pitchers in a short series, that's all you
true.
need to get you to
But
the next.
But you got to get there, you know.
That's right.
And they have question marks, I think, in their bullpen right now. CeCe Sabathia is a big question mark, I
Very
think,
very
you know.
big question mark.
How do you I wouldn't say but you lose a guy like Robertson. I mean, you were really counting on that guy. Was it a money thing?
It was money.
But how can it be money when it involves the Yankees? That's what I don't understand.
Well, because the big guy's dead.
money.
What?
Yeah.
Big guy is gone. He didn't care about
Well,
money.
but they
when
said
it
that
came
last
to-
year, and they went out and they got Tanaka, right? I mean, that wasn't a cheap
They
acquisition.
didn't
you know?
go
25
out
years
and
old.
get your Nelson
Yeah.
Cruzes, the big thumpers. They have to have that at Yankee Stadium. They're not going to win without the thumpers.
But do you think it's that they didn't offer these guys enough, or was it that other people are now outbidding them, which I can't imagine.
Yeah, yeah. You know, you mentioned you asked Pete before. You said, you know, the way the Red Sox are laying out there, they need to make a move. Okay.
Right.
I think the same thing with the Yankees, don't you?
Yeah, they true, but I think the Red Sox have a lot more chips to deal. They have a tremendous amount of talent in their minor league system,
Uh-huh.
where the Yankees, there's just a little bit of cream there. They're not overflowing. Red Sox
Yeah.
are overflowing. Plus, they signed those two international players, that Rusney Castillo and that
Cuban guy
Roland
and
Yanada.
Yeah.
I mean, they gave them $60 million just to sign.
Yeah.
These guys are going to be good. You know,
Do you think that it's just kind of that the Boston Red Sox have always made fun of the Yankees? They call them the evil empire and stuff, and now that's what they've become.
Yeah.
well, that's you can't if you can't beat them, join them.
It's the
But the
economics
thing
of the 2000s, I
Everybody
guess is what it
tries
is, you know?
to be the Yankees. Everybody. I mean, obviously, the Yankees spend a lot more money, or have always spent a lot more money. Look at the money that the Mets spent up until the Madoff issue and stuff. They were always up there. It was always the
Sure.
Mets, the Yankees, Boston. But why is it that it's like obviously it's not the money that they spend; it's who you spend that money on. I mean, the Yankees have always
it's all
had a
about
good eye
talent
for
evaluation. We talked before about God.
They did do that. What you're saying is they spent that money, but let's not forget about that core. That's what you needed to have. You can add pieces, moving pieces to it, but you have to have the core.
From 1981 to 1996, George Steinbrenner spent a ton of money on big players, and they never won a division. And he came on the Mad Dog and Mike and Mad Dog show one time, and he was really giving it to him, like, "Hey, George, you never won, Georgie. What's going on?" And he would say, "Well, for those 15 years, we won more games than any other." "Oh, don't give me that hogwash, you know."
And then he gets suspended.
But
And then Michael takes over. Jim Michael.
They didn't
And
have the
then
core
they
four
build it.
Yeah.
to build around, because you can always rely on those guys. That middle of that lineup
Right.
is just always there. You can put in a Chili Davis. You can put in
Right.
the guy.
Cecil Fielder.
No, the guy from hit his 500th home run for the for the Mets.
Beltran.
No.
What's it? Curtis Gooden's.
The Sheffield.
Gary Sheffield.
Gary
Yeah.
Sheffield.
Yeah, you plug in those guys, and then the lineup looks like unbelievable.
Right.
But it's always those core four.
But and I think Joe Torre was a perfect manager for them too. You know what I mean? You always
He was a
saw him
people
just sitting in the
manager.
dugout. He wasn't doing much, but
Remember, he was
I mean,
Clueless Joe before that.
That's true.
You know,
That's
so
true.
it's just that he was the right guy for the job at the time.
That's right. I mean,
So
you
they
have to
always
have
say
a
that
manager with the
baseball-
right temperament with that cool. But you know, these guys were all upstanding citizens. They were great ball players. You know what I mean? Like you say, they got in people's faces.
Well, that's what we were saying.
And
Like, you have certain guys like Jeter was young, but I mean Posada was the.
But look at what when you talk about a baseball team, you talk about you have to be strong up the middle. Okay, those core four guys were all up the middle.
Absolutely.
The catcher,
Tip of Bernie Williams.
you had the pitcher, you had the shortstop.
Yeah.
Even you throw Bernie Williams in there, but that was the guys. That's the.
How do you guys feel about Joe Girardi as a manager?
I think as a baseball manager is the least important coaching or managing job in all sports. I think you have to be a coach can make a difference on the hockey side, on the basketball side, on the football side. I don't think baseball is all that important because if you look
Yet you're saying Collins sucks.
He does. Well,
Doesn't matter.
He's a puppet. He's there. He's there basically for management to do what. Because if you left him on his own, that team, your pitchers would be gone already. You wouldn't even have any arms left.
If you have a turnkey system like Joe Torre did, you can sit back and just watch them play and put out fires all the time. Joe Girardi is a real strategic guy.
I feel the same way about him.
I
And
felt
those
that way
guys-
about Bobby Valentine.
Well, like in the National, I was just about to say that in the National League, when it comes to the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings, those managers are thinking about that in the
That's
2nd,
different.
3rd, and 4th innings.
Yeah, that's different.
So,
Yeah.
But in the American League, I should have said that. In the American League, those managers, they're not. Now look, a guy like Showalter, he's a developer as well as a manager. He sees things in the minor league system because you'll notice he pulls guys up. Who's this guy? And all of a sudden, you just plugged him into the Oriole outfield. That guy, Steve Pierce, a throwaway guy. He's now starting for them. And he had, I think, almost 20 homers last year.
Do we need to either eliminate the DH or put the DH in the National League? Can they stay
I like it the way it is.
two separate leagues?
I like it the way it is.
But how does that affect? How does that affect the fact that we're playing two completely different games, yet we're playing interleague games all the time?
it's a big advantage for the National League in the playoffs. There's no doubt about it. That's where the managing comes into play.
Yeah.
They have an advantage. They know how to use those 8th and 9th guys in the lineup. So with the
Unless you're Terry Collins.
I thought it was Tom Collins.
He is Tom Collins during the day.
they'll never get rid of the DH.
Yeah.
Okay, the Players Association will
No,
never
yeah,
let that
that's true.
happen.
That's true.
Because these guys can now play until they're 42
So it's
years
either
old.
the National League adapts it or they just leave it the way it is, or maybe
I
they.
guess, I guess I do like it the way it is because I do like the National League brand of baseball. I think there's a lot more strategy involved with that,
I'm wondering if I think they were talking about with the World Series, alternating years, DH, no DH,
All the
for all the games.
Because
Yeah.
to me, it makes a little more sense to do that. I just have a problem with, I guess, I like to have, I like everybody to play the same game. I can't imagine any other league where you have two completely different set of rules.
it doesn't happen.
That completely changes
true.
the game.
That's true.
You know what I
But
mean?
the baseball advocates of the DH will say that's the uniqueness of our game.
Yeah,
That we
and
have that,
you can't argue with that.
And
Well,
I don't really mind the extra guy. My biggest gripe with the DH is not the guy batting all the time, and not the fact that although I do like the strategy involved, to me that's an interesting thing. I just don't like the fact that pitcher doesn't have to get up at bat because he never has to face the jury for his crimes.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, don't worry, because Matt Harvey didn't hit anybody, because I think he's going to bat sixth. Didn't they say that? He's gonna,
They may make him bat sixth.
I was reading that the Mets were saying that DeGrom is going to be, might be a pinch hitter. But
Well, you know what? Last year, how many times did they use him as like the number 8 hitter?
Yeah, that's
they
right.
used DeGrom as the number 8 hitter.
That's the Cardinal manager.
Tony La Russa.
Tony La Russa.
That's right.
Was
That's
his
the
thing
Reds.
all the time.
And how great was it watching a guy like Bartolo Colon have to bat? We were talking earlier. You were asking about why why the Mets would be using him as their opening day pitcher. You know what? He won 15 games last year.
He deserved it.
He pitched over 200 innings.
He deserved it.
Yeah.
No question.
Okay.
I think Jim Leland hated managing the American League. I really do.
Could have. We're almost out of time here on the Glory Days show, so we're going to take a short 2-minute break, and then we'll wrap up for the weekend. Stay with us. You're watching the Glory Days show with Bruce and Disco, only on the In Radio TV network. Coming right back.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered.
Hey, this is Chris Less Jake, and if InRavio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
Welcome back to the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco here on the In Radio TV network. Steve Lanzer and John Zeiss are in the studio with us today. So, what do you think we learned today?
You know, I was so prepared, I don't think I learned anything.
Well, I tell you what I learned.
Go ahead.
I learned that anytime John Zeiss wants to give me tickets for a game, I'm going to take
Yeah,
them.
that's a good point. I guess I also learned you can't really count on Sammy Stone.
No, oh, you know what? Shall we
Don't
give
do
Sammy
it.
Stone? let's give Sammy Stone another chance. Sammy Stone.
Wise guy.
Sammy Stone.
Yo,
Tell me the future.
you better start making sense.
Get rid of him.
You try it.
That's right.
Sammy Stone,
Yo,
tell me the future.
sure. Ask
Will
away.
the Yankees make the playoffs?
I'm busy now.
We finally got through to
Finally,
it.
he wasn't talking to you.
Sammy Stone.
That's right.
Tell me the future.
What, are you nuts?
That's it.
Get rid of him. He's out of here.
You know, for the whole baseball
for 3 years.
extravaganza, you
So
worked.
what you
I'm
guys?
going to switch gears here for 1 minute. I believe today is, and I should have researched beforehand, National Record Store Day. Okay?
Is it?
Yeah, I think so. You know,
Are there
and,
record stores anymore?
well, you know, it's kind of tough to find an independent record store. It really is. You know, and I growing up, I enjoyed going to them.
We
Whatever.
were just talking about it on the ride out.
Yeah, well, you know, you still have vinyl or what?
My son is into vinyl.
Yeah.
And last week was his birthday.
I was into loud.
I bought 4 Beatles albums.
Yeah.
The White Album, Revolver,
Yeah.
Sgt. Pepper, and Past Masters. That was a double.
Yeah.
Guess what I spent for the 4?
That's
Newly remastered. Or
that sounds like about
175
$150 there is what it
$140
sounds like. Okay.
Oh,
Now, what George told me was that these new vinyl albums are able to be converted to digital.
Really?
Yeah, so that you don't have to worry about CDs anymore. So you can record from vinyl onto your iPod with digital.
The whole point.
Couldn't you just buy the CD?
Yeah.
Well, you want to. Well, they're phasing that out.
Yeah.
CDs are going to be gone.
Well,
in
the whole
2
point with
years.
CDs was, and now with iPods and everything, is space. People don't have
Right.
space for vinyl.
The CDs are
That's
all
right.
over the place.
But
That's
they, and Tony said this once. There's nothing like that stylus hitting the
Hitting the
vinyl.
record.
That's
I don't know
right.
what
And then
that-
going,
I know. That's where all my records are. That's why I'll never be a vinyl guy because I
We
can't
are,
take care of
hello,
my vinyl.
goodbye. Hello, goodbye.
We're
Hello,
out of
goodbye.
time here.
It just skips.
Okay.
Thanks to our producers, Kyle Melnick and Bonnie Schultz, for all the hard work they do in making us look so good.
Yeah.
Thanks to our good friend Pete Torgerson for helping us out today. And, of course, thanks to our studio guests, Steve Lanza, John Zeiss.
And Stu
Thanks,
Schiffman,
guys.
you didn't look so good either. So don't laugh at me.
Thanks again, Chuck and Bonnie, for putting up with this nonsense
Stu.
week after week. And, of course, thanks to our loyal viewers. Don't forget, you can check out the Glory. Mets and Yankees get started on Monday. Next week, we'll be talking about the NHL and getting you ready for the playoffs. Have a great weekend, everybody. Stay safe. We'll see you next week. Thanks, you guys. This was fantastic.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming down.
Happy Easter.
Everybody wave. Bye.
InReview.com. InReview.com.